I got two questions for you. What's the most raced car in America, and what's the best-selling roadster of all time? Trick question, it's the same thing. Despite these two amazing accolades, the Miata has always been sort of a divisive car. I think every auto enthusiast will at least acknowledge that the Miata is technically good. It lives in a class of its own and is really the only option if you want an affordable, no-frills sports car. But there are some people, myself included, who can't get over the stigma of a Miata being a hairdresser's car. It's great, but can convertibles be cool? Well, unlike seemingly every other car manufacturer in the world, it seems that Mazda is listening. They gave us one with a hard top, sort of. This is the MX-5 RF. And Mazda let us borrow one for a whole month.
So what's it like to drive?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, because that's my job. This is the new car show. It's your boy, James Pumphrey. Let's say you really like driving fun cars, but you're not a huge fan of convertibles because they remind you of stepmoms and sorority girls. Plus, they're way too loud, they're easy to break into, and some people, for some reason, have decided to live in places where winter happens. Officially, RF stands for retractable fastback, but it should stand for ridiculously friggin' cool looking. It's an eye-catching shape. It really looks like a tiny Jaguar F-Type, and it only weighs about 100 pounds more than a soft-top Miata. 100 pounds! That's like having a fat 8-year-old in your trunk. The RF looks so good with the top up, you might never want to put it down. It's the closest thing that Mazda has ever given us to a Miata coupe. But if you like being topless, and you know I do, it only takes 13 seconds to drop that top into what is essentially a Targa. You can put the top up or down if you're going up to 6 miles per hour, which is perfect for ghost riding. And we already know that the Miata is not a fast car per se, but with the Skyactiv 4-cylinder making 155 horsepower and 148 pound-feet of torque, it's plenty quick. You're just not going to win any stoplight drag races, but that's not what the Miata is about. The RF is all about the corners. That's where it's fast. Mazda built the Miata entirely around the driver and how they interact with the car. The RF only weighs about 2,450 pounds. That's like half of my dad. It's insanely tossable and fun, which is the exact opposite of my dad. The front suspension uses lightweight forged aluminum uprights and double wishbones made specifically for the Miata. If you get the ridiculously good 6-speed transmission, I highly recommend you should. It is so choice. You'll also get Bilstein dampers, a front shock tower brace, and an LSD. If you don't know what any of those things are, they're a bunch of really important pieces that make the RF really fun. In true Miata fashion, the transmission is amazing. The shifter is as smooth as butter. It makes sitting in traffic like I am right now totally bearable. But it also makes bombing through the canyons exhilarating. The Miata also has something that its competitors, i.e. the Toyota 86/BRZ, doesn't have. Torque throughout the rev range. The interior is cozy. You know, it's a 2-seat sports car. It's classic and refined. If you take a road trip, you guys are gonna be close friends. You get a leather-wrapped steering wheel, shift knob, and e-brake handle, very toasty 3-way heated seats, smart keyless entry with push-button start, a Bose 9-speaker stereo, including little speakies in your headrests, Bluetooth, and 2 USB ports. It's a lot of stuff, but it's not overwhelming. You're not bombarded to the point of exhaustion. The RF strikes a nice balance between driver focus and modern convenience. Blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic detection are very handy standard items because these rear buttress guys make the blind spots pretty huge, especially for such a small car. They do see ghosts though, which is pretty annoying. The RF club trim comes with all that stuff and some pretty good looking 17-inch gunmetal wheels for just under $32K. If you want to pony up almost $4,000 more, Mazda will give you forged BBS wheels that look very nice on it and Brembo front brakes painted red, so choice. I love driving supercars, but honestly, most of the time when you're driving them, you're frustrated looking around for the next open stretch of road. In this car, you can drive the piss out of it and look down and you're going like 40 miles an hour. It has what you call an attainable level of performance. You can do a lot before you get in trouble. I mean, this car is the embodiment of it's more fun to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow. The Miata perfectly fulfills Mazda's philosophy of Jinbai Itai, which means horse and rider as one. It sounds cliche, but it really does feel like this car is an extension of you. And even with all this new tech on board, the RF feels unmistakably Miata. Mazda did a heck of a job because driving the RF is an effing good time. We got a ton of cool cars lined up for future episodes of this, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of them. You like this hat? Go buy one. Shop.donut.media. You like Miatas? Check out this episode of Up to Speed. You like other Mazdas? Check out this episode of Up to Speed. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at James Pumphrey. Follow Donut on Instagram at Donut Media and on Twitter at Donut_media. Link in the description.